Hello, my name is Davidson, and I'm a married mother of 3 children. I will soon have a fourth daughter coming in June. I'm so excited about that. Me and my husband have been married for 5 years, and the story that I'm going to tell you today kind of relates, well, in essence, it is about he and I when we first met. I was trying to come up with a title for the story, and I said, how about the date debacle, as I was talking to my husband about it, and he said, the date debacle? Well, that's when our first date, so that's really not appropriate for me to say the date debacle. So I think I'm going to say the date fiasco. My husband and I both had been single for a long time. I had been married back in '99, had gotten, had my first daughter, and a couple years later, we divorced shortly after she was born. And so I had been really cautious about dating again, with a young child, and I'm not, I don't really go out and that kind of stuff. So I had tried online dating, which is a whole different ball of wax, if you will. It poses all kinds of new sort of levels of problems or levels of communication with different people. So me and my current husband, we had actually met online, and we had been talking and really had hit it off, and so we decided to go to eat at a Mexican food place. It was on a Wednesday night, and so the restaurant was very there wasn't many people there. So we're having a good conversation, and dinner comes to an end, and we're just really enjoying each other's company. So we ordered dessert, which now it's kind of funny because I would never suggest ordering dessert. I'm kind of frugal in that matter, but I guess I wanted to spend more time with him. So we had our dessert. The cleaning crew at the restaurant decided to start cleaning under our feet. They were trying to kind of push us out, so we decided we better just say goodnight and part ways. And so he had walked me out to the parking lot, and we said goodbye. And I didn't really realize that at the time I had parked really close to a telephone pole, but I didn't really realize whenever I had pulled in. And so he had gone to get in his car, and I got in mine, and whenever I backed out, I actually ran into the telephone pole. And it smashed up my car, but I was, at the time I didn't want to get out, because I didn't want him to know that I had smashed up my car, and I knew that it was going to be bad, and so I just, I was trying to figure out, do I get out, or do I just drive home and look at the damage when I get home? And so I elected the latter. I just drove home and hoped for the best, and come to find out, I had yellow paint all down the side of my car, because the pole that I hit had yellow paint at the bottom of it, so I had yellow paint all down the side of my vehicle. He never knew about it until a couple of weeks later, whenever I had to tell him. I didn't want him to worry, and feel like it was his fault that I had ran into the telephone pole. So it's kind of a joke, a long-standing joke in my house, that I was so in love after the first date with him that I smashed my car up. And so that's my story, and it is a funny story to tell people, and now we're happily married for going on 6 years with 2 children together. He came into the marriage with one, I came into the marriage with one, and now we have one and then one on the way. So it's kind of a funny way to start the relationship. Thank you for listening to my story today.